Hello students and welcome to Standard 8 General Science digital class. In the last video we have learned force and its definition, contact and non-contact forces, balanced and unbalanced forces, Newton's first law of motion, inertia definition, inertia types and examples. Today we will continue with chapter 3 force and pressure. So let's begin with the next topic. Now you must have observed the tires of bicycle getting pressurized. We know that a force has to be applied for filling air in the bicycle tire with a hand pump. By applying force, air pressure is increased. So can we say force and pressure are related? Yes. So let's define pressure. The force exerted perpendicularly on a unit area is called pressure. Pressure is equal to force upon area on which force is applied. Unit of pressure. The SI unit of force is Newton and area is meter square. Therefore, unit of pressure is Newton per meter square or Pascal. Pressure is a scalar quantity. Pressure on solids. Let's understand this with a simple experiment. See the picture. There is a wooden plank supported on both sides with wooden blocks. When 3 to 4 books are kept on different places on the plank bends slightly. But when all the books are kept on one above the other, the plank bends to more extent. This experiment shows that when force is applied on smaller area, pressure exerted is more, and when force is applied on larger area, pressure exerted is less. We also find this in nature. For example, due to natural adaptation, the bottom surfaces of camel's feet are broad. Hence, the camel's weight is exerted on a large area and the pressure on the sand is reduced. This is why camel's feet do not penetrate into the sand and it becomes easy to walk. Pressure on liquids. See the picture. Here, a plastic bottle is pierced at 3 different points in a straight line. Feel water in the bottle up to full height. Water jet will be seen emerging and projecting out. The water jet emerging from the hole at the top will fall closest to the bottle. The jet from the lowest hole falls farthest from the bottle. Also, jets coming out from the two holes at the same level fall at the same distance from the bottle. So what do we understand from this? It is understood that at one level the liquid pressure is the same. Also, the pressure increases as the depth of the liquid increases. Gas pressure. If a balloon is inflated by filling air, it inflates on all sides. If a pinhole is created in the balloon, air leaks out and the balloon does not inflate fully. This shows that just like solids and liquids, gases also exert pressure. All gases and liquids have a common name: fluids. Atmospheric pressure. Air surrounds the earth from all sides. This layer of air is called atmosphere. The pressure created due to air is called atmospheric pressure. The air pressure at the sea level is called 1 atmospheric pressure. Air pressure decreases as one goes up in height from the sea level. Let's see how is this pressure created. See the picture here. If air exists in a closed container, the air molecules in random motion continuously hit the walls of the container. In this interaction, a force is exerted on the walls of the container. Pressure is created due to this force. Here is something interesting about atmospheric pressure and our body. Do you know? We constantly bear the atmospheric pressure on our heads. However, the cavities in our body are also filled with air, and arteries and veins are filled with blood. Therefore, we do not get crushed underwater and due to atmospheric pressure, as the pressure is balanced. Buoyant force. While pulling a bucket from a well, the bucket full of water immersed fully in water appears to weigh less than when it has been pulled out of water. Do you know why? Let's take one more example. Take a piece of thin aluminium sheet and dip it in water in a bucket. What do you observe? Whether it will sink or float? It will sink. Now shape the same piece of aluminium into a small boat and place it on the surface of water. This time it will float. This happens because here an upward force is acting on the bucket as well as on the aluminium boat, which is balancing the downward force due to gravity. This upward force exerted by water on the object is called buoyant force. So let's define buoyant force. Buoyancy or upthrust is an upward force exerted by a fluid that opposes the weight of a partially or fully immersed object. Buoyancy. Buoyancy is the ability to float. Buoyant force is an upward force that acts on a submerged object. A buoyant force acts in the direction opposite to the force of gravity, so it makes an object feel lighter. Now, buoyancy or buoyant force depends on two factors. Volume of the object. Buoyant force is more if volume of object is more. Density of liquid. More the density of liquid, more is the force of buoyancy. For example, it becomes easier to swim in sea water than in fresh water. This is because the density of sea water is higher than the density of fresh water due to salts dissolved in sea water. In salty water, the buoyant force exceeds the gravitational force. How can we decide whether an object left in liquid will get sink in the liquid, will float on the surface, or will float inside the liquid? Now this depends on the buoyant force and the weight of the object. The object floats if the buoyant force is larger than its weight. The object sinks if the buoyant force is smaller than its weight. The object floats inside the liquid if the buoyant force is equal to its weight. Introduction to the scientist. Archimedes was a Greek scientist and a mathematician with sharp intelligence. He found out the value of pi by numerical calculations. His knowledge of levers, pulleys, wheels in physics was useful to the Greek army in fighting against the Roman army. He became famous due to his work in geometry and mechanics. When he entered a bathtub for taking bath, he discovered the above principle by observing the overflowing water. He came out in the same state shouting Eureka, Eureka, meaning I found it, I found it. The use of Archimedes' principle is very wide. This principle has been used in the construction of ships and submarines. The instruments such as lactometer, hygrometer are based on this principle. Let's see what is Archimedes' principle. This principle states that when an object is partially or fully immersed in a fluid, a force of buoyancy acts on it in the upward direction. This force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Why does a ship float? A ship has a long and wide base due to which the amount and the weight of water displaced by it is more. The buoyant force will increase if more fluid is displaced. A large object displaces more fluid than a small object. Also, the shape of the ship's hull causes the ship to displace greater volume of water, which helps the ship to float on water. Density and relative density. Density is the ratio between the mass and the volume of a body. Relative density, on the other hand, is the ratio between the density of an object and the density of some other reference object at some given temperature. The SI unit of density is kg per meter cube. Relative density is equal to density of substance upon density of water. Now, relative density doesn't have any unit. You will write down the following points in your notebook. Force and its definition, Newton's first law of motion, inertia definition, inertia types and examples, pressure, definition, unit and formula, buoyant force, Archimedes principle, relative density, formula, units. You can pause that video in between and write all these points in your notebook. Thank you.